Good day to each and everyone. We are students from Western Mindanao State University, a BS Biology student major in ecology. Our topic for today is all about classification of freshwater organisms, freshwater microbes, and freshwater animals. Our first topic is the classification of freshwater organisms. So, freshwater ecosystems are teeming with a diverse array of life forms, each adapted to its specific aquatic environment. These organisms can be classified based on various criteria, such as their habitat, ecological role, and taxonomic classification. The Philippines, with its diverse islands and varied landscapes, harbors a rich array of freshwater habitats, each supporting unique communities of organisms. The Philippines is also a home to a rich diversity of freshwater organisms, including various fish species, fungi, and microcrustaceans. This biodiversity is crucial for ecological balance and local livelihoods. In the study conducted by Macalisang et al. 2023 in San Agustin, Romblon, 31 species of fishes were identified, predominantly from the order Perciformes, highlighting the region's local biodiversity. A novel Hyphomycetus species was also discovered in decades submerged wood, showcasing the unique fungal diversity in Philippines freshwater ecosystems based on the study made by Calabon et al. 2024. We can classify the freshwater organisms based by their habitats. So we have here two classifications, and first is the lentic habitats. For the lentic habitats or the standing water, we have here lake, ponds, swamps, and marshes. So for the lake, we have Sardinella tawisil. This endemic freshwater sardine thrives in the unique conditions of Taal Lake, a volcanic lake in Luzon, according to Guerrero 2023. It feeds on zooplankton and breeds throughout the year in the lake. Due to a heavy overfishing, it has been included in the red list of critically endangered species by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, or IUCN 2018. So for the next freshwater organism, we have the Nile tilapia or Oreochromis niloticus. So according to Cuvin Aralar et al. 2012, it is a major contributor to the livelihood of rural communities in many parts of the Philippines. Laguna de Bay is the largest inland body of water in the Philippines with a surface area of 90,000 ha. It is said that the production figures for Nile tilapia in the lake average 10,472 metric tons between 1996 and 2006. Next habitats would be the ponds. So, the freshwater organisms we have here are the plankton and benthos. So for the plankton, phytoplankton and zooplankton form the base of the food web in ponds, supporting a variety of other organisms. In the study conducted by Pleto et al. 2022 about the composition of the phytoplankton and zooplankton communities in fish ponds along the Marilao, Maycauyan, Obando River system of Bulacan Trachinius, the low diversity index of plankton on ponds indicates that the water is polluted. This study provides baseline information on the biodiversity of the plankton community, which is essential in aquaculture. So next is the benthos. Organisms like snails, worms, and insect larvae live on or in the bottom sediments of ponds. In the study of Bagarinao 2021, it shows that the abundant Ceritidopsilia cingulata or mud snail live in all ponds in Dumangas, Iloilo, Philippines, and probably consume plenty of pond sediments, or detritus, and microflora. So the next lentic habitats are the swamps and marshes. So the first is the aquatic insects. Example of this is the water beetle in the Agusan Marsh, Mindanao, Philippines. In the study conducted in the Agusan Marsh, it shows that aquatic insects such as the water beetles play multiple roles in the ecosystem, such as predators, prey to other animals, and decomposers, which help in maintaining ecological balance according to Varela 2016. Next is the birds. Wetland areas such as the marsh provide vital habitats for birds. They utilize swamps and marshes for feeding and nesting. A total of 36 bird species belonging to 24 families were recorded during their rapid assessment in the freshwater swamp forest of the Ebpaman Marsh in the study of Limbaro et al. 2024. Bird species such as the Anas luzonica or Philippine duck and Streptopelia dussumieri or Philippine collared dove are found and recorded. So the second classification is the lotic habitat or the flowing water. We have here the rivers and the streams. So for the rivers and the streams, a diverse range of species including the macrobrachium, Lepidactylius or freshwater prawn, and Anguilla marmorata or giant mottled eel. So macrobrachium, Lepidactylius, and Anguilla marmorata are some of the species found in the rivers and streams and are also in the study of Garcia et al. 2018 to assess the biodiversity of macroaquatic species in the Amburayan River in Kapangan, Benguet. Next is the streams. We have here the macroinvertebrates. In the study of Camacho and Taniegra 2021, macroinvertebrates such as the caddisflies, aquatic snails, and stoneflies were utilized in aquatic pollution studies. These organisms are used to characterize the current status and predict significant changes in the water quality and habitat stability.
Let's proceed with the classification of freshwater organisms based on their ecological role. So, freshwater ecosystems in the Philippines play a crucial role in the country's biodiversity and, of course, the ecological balance. So, these ecosystems are home to a diverse array of organisms that perform various ecological functions. One ecological role are the producers. So, these are organisms that produce their own food through photosynthesis. Example of it are phytoplankton. So these are microscopic plants that form the base of the aquatic food chain. And also they produce oxygen through photosynthesis and they serve as a food source for zooplankton. Another example of producers are aquatic plants. So microphytes that provide habitat, oxygen, and food for various aquatic organisms. They also help stabilize sediments and also prevent erosion. So next, we have also the consumers. So consumers are organisms that consume other organisms for energy. One of the examples are the zooplankton. So microscopic animals that feed on phytoplankton. They are an important link in the aquatic food chain and they serve as a prey for larger organisms. So lastly, we have the decomposers. So decomposers are organisms that break down dead organic matter. For examples are bacteria and fungi. So bacteria are microscopic organisms that break down dead organic matter into simpler substance, releasing nutrients back into the water. Another is fungi. So fungi are organisms that decompose dead plants and animals. And also they play a vital role in nutrient cycling and soil formation. So these ecological roles are interconnected, forming a complex ecosystem that supports a variety of life forms. So understanding these roles is essential for the conservation and management of freshwater ecosystems in the Philippines. So next, we have the taxonomic classification of freshwater organisms. So for kingdom Animalia, we have the phylum Chordata, such as fish, amphibians, reptiles, and some aquatic organisms. Then for phylum Arthropoda, we have the insects, crustaceans, and arachnids. For phylum Mollusca, we have the snails, clams, and mussels. Then for phylum Annelida, we have the worms. So for kingdom Plantae, we have the aquatic plants such as the algae and water lilies. Then for kingdom Fungi, we have the aquatic fungi such as the water molds. And for kingdom Protista, we have the protozoa and the algae.
Next topic we have is the freshwater microbes. So freshwater microbes are microscopic organisms that inhabit freshwater environments such as lakes, rivers, ponds, and streams. They encompass a diverse range of organisms, which includes bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and algae. So the first freshwater microbes that we have is the bacteria. So the bacteria are microscopic organisms that live in freshwater environments such as lakes, rivers, ponds, and streams. They are essential components of aquatic ecosystems, wherein they play various roles in nutrient cycling, decomposition, and the health of aquatic life. So a bacteria possesses many characteristics, and one of them is that they are microscopic, so they're too small to be seen with the naked eye. They're also prokaryotic, wherein they are single-celled organisms that lack a nucleus. Ecological importance, they play crucial roles in aquatic ecosystems, which includes the nutrient cycling, wherein they help break down organic matter and recycle nutrients such as nitrogen and phosphorus. So for an example of a bacteria, what we have here is a Polynucleobacter cosmopolitanus. So according to Raso et al. 2022, this Polynucleobacter cosmopolitanus is a novel species and free-living planktonic bacteria which inhabits in freshwater lakes and rivers. It is an oligotrophic organism, which means that it can thrive in environments with low nutrient concentrations. It also has a versatile metabolism, as it is capable of utilizing a wide range of carbon sources for growth, including organic acids, sugars, and amino acids. So the next freshwater microbes that we have is the algae. So algae, they produce their own food through photosynthesis using sunlight to convert carbon dioxide and water into glucose. Algae have different characteristics, and one of it is that they are photosynthetic, wherein they produce their own food, as what I've mentioned earlier. They produce their own food through photosynthesis using the sunlight to convert the carbon dioxide and water into glucose. So the next characteristic that they have is that they are microscopic, wherein they are typically too small to be seen with the naked eye. So for their ecological importance is that they play a vital role in aquatic ecosystems as primary producers, wherein, as I've mentioned earlier, they also provide food for other organisms. So now what we have here is an example of the algae. So this species is called the C. pyrenoidosa or Chlamydomonas pyrenoidosa. So according to De Leon et al. 2021, the Chlamydomonas pyrenoidosa is a unicellular green alga which belongs to the Chlorophyta division. So these C. pyrenoidosa are most commonly used in research, as it has been found out that nutritional supplementation derived from C. pyrenoidosa helps relieve the symptoms of fibromyalgia, which reduces the risk of hypertension and has an immuno-enhancing effect. So the next example that we have is the Oscillatorialis. So according to De Leon et al. 2021, the Oscillatorialis are a family of cyanobacteria, commonly referred to as an blue-green algae, were commonly found in freshwater and some in the marine environment. They are filamentous organisms that form long, thin chains of cells. So there are more characteristics of a Oscillatorialis, and one of them is that they have filamentous structures wherein they grow in long thread-like filaments. They have a blue-green color, wherein this color comes from the presence of the chlorophyll A and the phycocyanin pigments. So they're also motile, wherein many of them are capable of gliding movement. And lastly is that they are heterotrophic, wherein while they can photosynthesize, they can also obtain nutrients by absorbing organic matter from their environment.
Another freshwater microbes are the fungi. So freshwater fungi are also abundant in the Philippines, with species like the Coleto-Trichium truncatum, Trichosporon asahil, and Rhizopus microporus, which are being identified. So these fungi contribute to decomposition, nutrient cycling, and the production of bioactive compounds. In fact, 80 fungi were recorded on submerged bamboo and wood in the Lipot River, Barrio Alegria, Negros Occidental, Philippines, in which the collection made was in April 1997 and August 2001. This is according to the study of Kai et al. 2003. Examples of freshwater fungi which was collected in the study of Kai et al. 2003 are the Didymelia apruti, the Astroporella papillata, and the Acrogenospora spiroset. The study of Kai et al. 2003 shows that the average number of species identified from each sample was 2.28, which indicates a relatively high fungal diversity in the Lipot River. So the fungal community on submerged bamboo and wood are compared and discussed. The results showed that in the Lipot River, bamboo support a different and diverse group of fungi in comparison to the wood. The fungal community on submerged bamboo is to some extent similar to the terrestrial bamboo in the previous studies. Another freshwater microbes are the protozoa. So protozoa are single-celled eukaryotic organisms that plays a significant role in regulating bacterial populations and contributing to the nutrient cycling. The protozoa are primitive in the sense that their organization as compared with the metazoa is relatively simple. They have no organic, circulatory, or nervous system as we understand those things by a study of animals higher in the scale. Their life processes are wholly of a cellular nature, but notwithstanding, they exhibit all the physiological functions manifested by the higher animals. So as you can see in this image, these are examples of protozoa.
So let's move on for our last but not the least topic, the freshwater animals. So understanding species in freshwater ecosystems, endemic, indigenous, and introduced freshwater ecosystems like rivers, lakes, and wetlands are home to a diverse array of species. Understanding the different types of species found in these environments is crucial for conservation efforts. So endemic species are those found exclusively in a specific geographic area and nowhere else in the world. They are often highly adapted to the unique conditions of their environment. So we have here an example, our Philippine crocodile, the Crocodylus mindorensis, is endemic to the Philippines. So meaning it is found only in the country's freshwater ecosystems. Next is the indigenous species. So indigenous species are those that naturally occur in a particular region, having evolved and lived there for a long time. They are part of the native biodiversity of the ecosystem. So we have here an example, our tawilis, the Sardinella tawilis, a freshwater sardine, which is an indigenous species that only found in Lake Taal in the Philippines. Lastly, we have the introduced species, which is also known as non-native or exotic species. These are species that have been brought to a new area outside their natural range, either intentionally or unintentionally. So we have here our example, the Nile tilapia or our Oreochromis niloticus. So this is a popular food fish, and it was introduced to the Philippines from Thailand in the year 1972. We have found a local study in the Philippines which is entitled Endemic, Indigenous, and Introduced Species in the Freshwater Ecosystems of Nueva Ecija and Pampanga, Status, Diversity, and Impacts by Annie Melinda Paz Alberto, Eileen S. Castro, Vincent Leonard Flores, and Maria Angeli V. Romero. So this study is published in the Silliman Journal that provides a local example of the effects of introduced species in the Philippines. So in this study, there are 5 freshwater ecosystems in Nueva Ecija that were chosen as study areas, and the survey was done in the Pampanga main rivers and in Candaba Swamp. So there are 10 indigenous species, 1 endemic species, and 16 introduced species were identified in the different freshwater ecosystems of Nueva Ecija. There were also 10 indigenous species, 1 endemic species, and 12 introduced species identified in Candaba Swamp and Pampanga River in Pampanga. Lastly, there are 18 indigenous species, 1 endemic species, and 22 introduced species present in the freshwater ecosystems of Nueva Ecija and Pampanga. So, this study found that introduced species were more abundant and diverse than endemic and indigenous species in the freshwater ecosystems of Nueva Ecija and Pampanga provinces. So this study also highlighted the potential negative impacts of introduced species, including displacement and extinction of native species and loss of biodiversity. So since the study found out that the introduced species in the freshwater ecosystems of Nueva Ecija and Pampanga are more abundant and richer compared to the endemic and indigenous species, so this result is very alarming, for this might lead to species displacement and extinction of the native species because of the evident biological pollution. This may result in the destruction of ecological balance in the freshwater ecosystems of Nueva Ecija and Pampanga in the upcoming years. So we have here more example of endemic species. So the Philippines is particularly known for its high number of endemic freshwater fish species, meaning they are found nowhere else in the world. So the freshwater sardines, Sardinella tawilis, as I've mentioned earlier, found exclusively in Taal Lake. So other endemic species include the sinarapan or the Mysticis luzonensis, a tiny goby found in several lakes in the Bicol region. Of course, our national fish, the bangus or milkfish, Chanos chanos. This is known locally as bangus, and of course, the national fish of the Philippines. So this species is highly adaptable and can tolerate a wide range of salinity, making it suitable for both freshwater and brackish water environments. So we also have here other freshwater animals examples. First is our snails. The Philippines is home to a variety of freshwater snails, including the black devil snail, our Faunus ater, and the dusky nerite snail, our Neritina puligera. So these snails play important roles in the composition and nutrient cycling. And of course, our shrimp. So several freshwater shrimp species are found in the Philippines, such as the Amano shrimp, Caridina multidentata, and the gold nebula shrimp, Caridina villadolidi. So we can see here their illustrations, pictures, our black devil snail and our Amano shrimp. So other freshwater invertebrates, beyond snails and shrimp, a wide range of other invertebrates inhabit Philippine freshwater ecosystems, including dragonflies, damselflies, water beetles, and freshwater crabs. So these creatures play crucial roles in the food web and contribute to the overall health of the ecosystem. So that's all for our topic. Thank you so much and have a great day.